a lot of things will go wrong, and a lot of things go wrong, but it depends. It's only up to you if you want to correct them and make them go right.
Hello, we're here with António Mesquita, the founder of Revés Cowork Space. António, how are you?
Good today. Thank you, Miguel.
So tell us a little bit about this space and what brought you to build this in Lisbon.
Well, this is a space that it's very recent. We only opened 4 months ago, but the project has about 1 year. That was the moment when I found out the space, and the whole idea and the project came up. It took us about 7-8 months of construction works and developments to put it up, but we opened in February. And long story short, I would say that since the university, where my favorite subject was entrepreneurship, that I knew that I wanted to open a business of my own and not work for a big company and to the others. I wanted to work in my own benefit. So after 1 year working for a big consultant group and 2 attempts of opening an hostel, this came up basically after the second attempt of opening the hostel. For different reasons, the project didn't come through, and I found this space. I was looking for the co-working space concept for the last 2-3 years, and it really interested me. So it was a bit of a timing. I failed the other projects, and I found this space, and I think, well, everything comes up to.
So what's unique about Revés Cowork Space? What's different?
I would say that our location, it's quite unique because we are in the central of Lisbon. We are quite central. Rato is just 5 minutes away, but we are in this really tiny square, which is very residential and very calm.
So what's different about Revés Cowork Space?
Well, I think we designed a space where you can boost your productivity. At least we're getting a lot that feedback, because we have a clean and soft environment. It's not a heavy environment, as you can see, and we do get a lot of natural light, and we are located in this beautiful square, which is really chilled, and we do get that feedback that coming here to work, you really feel your productivity boosting, because you're surrounded by people that are working as well, but the whole environment, it's good. We had the care of choosing our tables and our chairs, really ergonomic chairs where you can sit and work comfortably for long hours, and I think that's also really important to be comfortable and with your head cleaned and a good environment around you, so you can focus on what really matters.
It's always interesting. It's also interesting to see how you build the space. So you have like this area, common area you can work, and over there too, and they're kind of separated.
Yes.
And a lot of lighting good stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have this main entrance area and this common area where you can do quick meetups, interviews like we're doing at the moment. Then we have our flex decks and the fixed desks. But on the other side, where there's more natural light, it's more quiet. That's our premium area, we call it, because you get wider tables, you get more natural lights. You're not in the entrance side, so you get to be more quiet. And downstairs we have the private labs as well.
It's a up and coming neighborhood, Campo Rico.
Yes, exactly, yes. Exactly. It's one of the oldest neighborhoods in Lisbon.
It's becoming really trendy.
Yes, and it's starting to. I live here in Campo Rico as well for the last 5-6 years, and when I came here, a lot of shops were closed, so it was a crisis. So I've been following these new trends and the building up of the neighborhood, which is really interesting. By living here, I noticed that we don't have an offer of co-working spaces in the surrounding areas. So Campo Rico, Estrela, Campolide, we don't have any space like this around this area, only to Salvado and that business area and down to the river. So I thought it would be
interesting
to have one here.
Tell us a little bit about who is coming to work here. Who are the persons?
So for these first 4 months, we had companies interested. We have 3 hubs, private hubs downstairs, where we have a Portuguese company, an American company, and the third one is coming now. And the co-working area, it's quite interesting because we do get a bit of everything. We mostly do get people that live around here, whether they are Portuguese freelancers or they are foreigners that are settled here in Lisbon or they're moving here to Lisbon. But mostly we do have freelancers and people working remotely. We have some people working remotely for Spanish companies, French companies, etc.
And were they freelancers? They are remote workers, maybe too?
Yes.
And in what industries? Do they have any idea?
All kind of industries. So we have people linked to the arts, people linked to apartments, tourism activities. We have coaches here as well. We have e-commerces. We have architects. It's a bit of everything, and that's what's really interesting, because the whole idea of co-working, the whole concept is to put up in the same space different people from different areas where they can exchange ideas, and that's what really I've really been liking these last months, is to get in touch and in contact with all these kind of different realities.
So António, I know Revés Cowork Space has been open only for 4 months now, but can you walk us through what's been going on in the co-working industry in Lisbon? So what's your take on these few months that have been happening? Do you see any big differences or shifts, or where are we heading?
Well, at the moment I don't see big differences from February to now, but from the last year when I started the project, I see a couple of differences. There are a couple of more spaces open now, so I think that the competition is increasing, but I still think there's space for all of us, because the trends on the market are going on the same way as we are, there are more companies putting their employees to work remotely. There are more people starting to work as a freelancers, quitting their jobs, and there are a lot of companies moving to Lisbon as well. So specifically, speaking of Lisbon, there are a lot of freelancers moving and settled down in Lisbon, and there are a lot of companies that are moving here, because nowadays companies have this flexibility. They can work from everywhere. They work to the whole world. So we have a lot of companies working to the Asian market, to the American market, and Lisbon is a good place. They can work for both markets and have a quality of life for their employees, which is really important.
From your perspective, what do you feel are the main assets that Lisbon has to be attracting so many people?
Well, I'm not I'm kind of a good person to talk about it, but we do have a really good weather. We have 200 days of sun, and that's, for me, it's really important, and I guess for a lot of people it's important as well. Our cost of life is still not very expensive, so the houses are getting quite expensive, that's true, but the rest of the things, they remain in a good standard prices. We do have a lot of things to do here in Portugal, a lot of activities. We have the south, we have the north, we have different ecosystems and environments to travel in a cheap budget. And our food is amazing, our wine is amazing, our beaches are amazing. So I think in Lisbon and in Portugal you can have a really good work-life balance, because it's a really good place to live. And if you can make some money, you can have a good life.
We want to understand a little bit about your experience building this place, creating this space. What are the main challenges that you've been facing managing this?
Well, the first challenges that came up were doing the construction works, because it was the first time I was following and
that was the hardest
managing.
Part so far?
No. It was not the hardest, but it was quite long. So in the last year, it took 7 to 8 months. So it was a struggle to manage all the operators here in the construction site. But it was really interesting and really challenging, and I really like to work with architects and constructions and get to know how things are done. Since we are open, the biggest challenge I would say is to get to reach the people. So
getting the customer.
Yes, exactly.
Customer acquisition.
Yes, we started by not doing any marketing strategy in the first months.
How did that go?
It go well because we wanted to grow organically. So it's my first time opening a co-work, and I also wanted to meet the persons personally, get their feedback, do a little improvements in the space that I thought that they would still need it to be done. So these 4 months we only grew and only got clients organically. So mouth to mouth, people passing by, friends talking about the space, and obviously social media. We are in social media, obviously, but it's been very organically, and that's quite interesting.
So you're not planning on paying for ads or doing some marketing campaign?
Now we want to do some marketing campaign. We're preparing a marketing campaign to the neighborhood. So we found out that a lot of people that come to us, they live in the surrounding areas, but they just don't know that we are here. And it happens that they're looking for a co-working space, but they still don't know that we are here. So for now, we're going to prepare a little good old marketing strategy just to spread some information around the neighborhood, spread the word, to get the neighbors, the community here in Campo de Rico to work with us. And from September on as well. From September on, we'll go digital. Because now these months of June, July, August, the rhythm
slows down a little bit,
exactly.
Because everybody goes on vacation,
yes,
and
exactly.
then they come back hard.
Study degrees, so it's not very good to work. We prefer to go to the beach.
Exactly. Now, we would like to know, obviously you're not in this industry for that long, but where do you see the co-working industry going over the next years?
Next years, that's a really good question, and it's a tough answer to give. On the other day, I was meeting with other co-working managers, and we were discussing that, because I think a lot of co-working spaces now are becoming more business centers, in the way that there are buildings coming up where companies just occupy one entire floor or whatever, and it's a bit distant from the concept of co-working, because if you have a space where a group of companies are working in their own private spaces, you kind of lose the fundamentals of co-working, which are the community, the exchange of experiences. So I think a lot of spaces are becoming business centers. And also, we were talking the other day, there are more businesses offering the possibility of co-working, like hostels, restaurants, cafes, bars, and both of them, they are distant from the concept of co-working, which I think is the community. It's a place where you can work independently, but you don't work alone. So it's a good question, and I guess we have to wait for the next couple of years to see where we're going. But I definitely think that the trend, it's on our side, so we are going on the right path.
António, share with us a good piece of advice with young and not so young entrepreneurs. What do you have to say to them?
Well, that's good, because I'm still a young entrepreneur as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm still learning a lot and making a lot of mistakes. But I would say that perseverance, it's key to go with your ideas forward, exactly, because a lot of things will go wrong, and a lot of things go wrong, but it depends. It's only up to you if you want to correct them and make them go right. So I think that asking a lot of advices, hearing to your peers, your friends, more experienced people, that's really important. And yeah, most of all, have some perseverance, because that is key.
António, thank you very much for this interview.
Obrigado. Thank you, Miguel.
Obrigado.